Hey guys, and welcome back to another monthly reading list. This is for the month of March. This month I managed to complete 6 books and 10% of another book. So the first book I completed on the 1st was My Sister's Keeper, and I really wanted to read this book because I got a lot into Jodi, Piccoult, and also because I'd watched the movie My Sister's Keeper. And usually if I watch a movie and then I find out it's based on the book, I wait probably about 6 months to a year to read the book. So then it's like, okay, I have the movie in my mind, but then I can read the book and not be like, oh, okay, this is what it's supposed to be like. But the book was really, really good. It explained a lot of things. It sort of reminded me a lot of Jodi Picoult's other book, Lone Wolf, that I reviewed back in probably February, maybe January. It was a book that I got for Christmas. Now this one I didn't read on my e-reader because I couldn't find a hard copy. I could find an audio copy, but I couldn't actually find a physical copy, and that seems to be the way I've been reading a lot more lately, is through my e-reader, because it's getting harder and harder to find actual physical copies of certain books. The second book that I read was The Ayurvedic Year by Christina Brown. This was for a elective project that I was working on. We had to basically go through the entire thing of what it was like to practice or introduce our class to the Ayurvedic process and properties and lifestyle. So that book was really, really helpful. I do recommend it if you're into different medicines and looking into things. Then I finished Dream Bride by Susan Mallery. This was my first book by Susan Mallery. I was recommended to her through my Goodreads account, which as always will be linked down below. And I really did like this one. It was an interesting series. I actually happened to I don't have it on me because I returned it to my local library. It was a book with both the Dream Bride and the Dream Groom that was called Dream Wedding. So it was 2 books in one. And it was a really good series. If you're into, if you're a non-believer in romance novels or romance stories, this really gets you into it, because you have one sister who is not into all this, oh, love's not real, I don't need it, and then she meets this amazing guy who's like, whoa, maybe I judge things too hastily. Then I finished my Emily Starr trilogy, which is the Emily of New Moon also trilogy by Ellen Montgomery. I finished the Emily Climbs, which was my last one to do, and that one took me the longest. I don't think I liked the end of that series. I was more into Anne Shirley, if you guys have watched any of my others. I'm a very, very big Anne of Green Gables fan, so I didn't like the way the series ended. The last one took me a while. It probably would have been better if she broke it up into 2 books, because at first you had her with Dean Priest, who was a friend of her dad's, and it's like, okay, that just threw me up. They seemed like amazing friends, but to get married and how he treated her, it's like, no. And then you read more and you find out that she's supposed to be with Teddy, and it's like, this should be a story all on its own, just Emily and Teddy, what happens after the book ends. You don't find out, because she's becoming a writer, he's an amazing artist. How do their lives intertwine? And then the last book I finished this month was The 50 Shades of Grey, the first book. It was a different writing style than I was used to. Well, it wasn't a different writing style, it was a different plot than I was used to. It took me a couple of weeks to get through, which isn't normal for me, but I don't see what the hype of it was about. I'm not sure if I'm going to read the other 2. I might if I need something out of the ordinary to read, and that might be the only reason I picked them up. I don't find it was worth all the hype and everything. I don't think it should have become a movie. It's not A-list material in my mind. And the book that I finished 10% of was my next in the Lucky Harper series, which keep an eye out. There will probably be a full video review for the entire series. And that was In His Kiss, and I managed to finish 10% of that one because I was busy a lot this month with schoolwork, and it also was winding down. I had March break, so I could have been reading, but I was spending a lot more time doing different things. So if you guys have any recommendations for me, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll check them out. And don't forget to check out my Goodreads page to find out what I've been reading, and maybe you guys will find your next great book. Till next month, guys.